Cappuccino in New York. Here again with another special guest. One of a kind guest today. Got a treat for y'all fans.
What's the deal?
So I just want you to kind of, tell the world, people that don't know, tell them who you are and where were you born and raised.
Oh shit, man. I was born and raised Los Angeles, California. Born and raised in the 60s. I go by Newport. By the family, they know me by Devon D. They call me all different kind of nicknames and shit. But yeah, I go by Newport in the streets.
Alright. I hear you a rapper, Newport. Is that true?
Yeah, I do music. I've been doing music for like 10 years now. So, just on the steady on my grind,
Alright, we're going to get into that a little later in the interview. But right now, I kind of want to just start off when you were a child, growing up in the 60s. Just tell us, what schools did you go to?
Elementary, I went to 50 Knife Elementary. Then I went to a private school called Believers Christian Academy. I went there probably like 3rd to like 6th grade. Then I went to junior high, I went to Horseman Middle School. From Horseman Middle School, I went straight to Crenshaw. Got kicked out of Crenshaw, went to Whitney Young. Got kicked out of Whitney Young, went to Jaws World, got kicked out. Shit, I went to damn near all the schools in the hood. Like, I went to all the schools in the hood.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I want to go back to your 59th Street days. When you were just young, and I just kind of want to know, some of the G's that you looked up to back then or that you felt were dominant back in your younger days.
Shit, like older homies, like T-Manuel, my pops, Billy Carter, Big D, Player, Big Sleep, Mad Dog off the other side of 6, Mad Ronald, F-Bone, other homies like that, really put the hood on the map. Them type of homies.
Okay, that's good stuff. Now, I want to go to your horseman days. Just kind of tell me, the gangs, the crews, or the cliques that stood out back then in your genre.
Shit, back then it was only real, like, as far as like dominant gangs, it was only the A-Trays and the 60s. Like, that I really was running into, and like cliques and shit, like little kid cliques, like GBD, PC2, like little cliques that we had to be from just to prepare ourselves for the big gangs such as the A-Trays and the Roller 60s.
Alright. Now, you say the A-Trays and the Roller 60s were at Horseman. Were they beefing in, or was it just everybody was just really being kids still, just claiming basically, in your opinion?
Like, as far as like my generation, we was focused on the clique. So if you was from the wrong clique, that's what, we knew where you was going. So like the 6-0s had like GBD and PC2, but it was a mixture of some niggas that went to A-Trays like during the time. So we was beefing with the A-Trays then. 6-0s was beefing with the A-Trays for sure, but we was kids, so we wasn't really into it like that. We going to school every day with you, so it ain't too much.
Alright, now tell us the same thing, but with your Crenshaw days.
Oh, Crenshaw
what
days.
gangs and what was going on in your Crenshaw days?
Crenshaw days, that shit threw me to the world. Like, nigga, I started running the Hoovers.
At Crenshaw High School?
No. Niggas would check in, but niggas wouldn't make it.
They wouldn't last that long?
Niggas wouldn't last that long, so I'm like, oh, alright. During that process from junior high, I was learning a lot of gang banging shit. Like, it's bigger than 8 trays and roller 60s. It's alright. It's niggas from 30s, niggas from 40s, niggas from Hoover, niggas from BPS during that growing stage from junior high to high school. So when I got to high school, I knew niggas like, nigga, we better not run into no Hoover nigga up here. Like, we better not run into no BPS nigga up here. Like, I knew that at Crenshaw. So niggas would try to check in and be under the radar. We there. So every enemy that came to Crenshaw didn't last a day. Lasted a day or two. Unless you wasn't really banging your hood.
So you would consider Crenshaw basically a 6-0 school in your day?
Yeah, it was a
Crip school, basically?
It was a Crip school, but it was in a blood neighborhood.
Right.
But I don't know why the Bloods didn't, like, I don't know. The older homies paved that way for us though. Like, niggas before, our generation before, like my brother and his homies, them niggas made that into a Crip school.
You say your brother, you talk about Mr. Revenue?
Yeah, Revenue, Mr. Revenue, Tiny Snoop. You know, that's who gave me my name, Big Terrible.
Alright, now, I want to ask you about Mr. Revenue right fast. Was he as aggressive and as dominant as everybody says he was coming up?
Oh man, cuz. Fuck looking at Tookie. Not no disrespect, but looking at everybody else was looking up to Tookie and all them. I used to look up to the homies. So yes, my big brother was a nigga like, you know what I mean? He showed a nigga like, nigga, that's how you do it, D. Don't do it no other way. Like, Cuz was very with the bullshit.
Alright, now, when you would get out of Crenshaw High School, what were some of the places where you, your homeboys and homegirls would hang out or just go to and post up?
Shit, man, leaving from Crenshaw, we going straight to Subway. Pioneer Pizza. Shit, we right there, dug it. Popeye, Burger King, you know, Arco. We right there. We chilling all day till probably like 5, 6:30. Then we roaming the hood.
Alright, so who was your crew back then coming up?
My crew, shit. Tidy Enemy. Tidy Weed Dog. GI. You know, Baby Facts. Lil Havoc. OK Board. Like I'm out the avenue, so I was really around like all my AG niggas. My New Jack niggas, you know, like Gilbone, Tiny Moody, Skull Drag, Earl Dog, you know, that's more towards 10th Ave, that way. Then, you know, like Husta J, Husta Bo, Baby Rollo, Boy Scooby. Like when you go towards like the back hood, Barnhurst, then, you know, Shitty, Brick Baby, you know, Tom, shit, Ouija, Like them was the niggas. That was my crew. Like
Okay.
back in the days.
Alright, now we're gonna stay right there back in your day. Who was the rolling 60s biggest opposition in your opinion? Like who did you see coming through? Who gave you the most?
During my time, during my generation,
Yeah.
shit, nigga, all of them. All the enemies, cause we had the streets hot. Like even the generation before us did so much trauma to the streets. It was like, nigga, we had to keep it up. You feel me? We had to stand on everything that them niggas was standing on. So it was nigga the A-Trade, the IFGs, the VNGs. Like the Hoovers, like they was really like, you know what I mean? They were, yeah, we was, everybody was sliding on us, we was sliding on them. That was just what it was. It was gangbanging.
So it felt like 60s against everybody, basically?
It was very much 60s versus everybody.
Was the soda pop still around during your time? Did you go up there? Can you tell us something about
See,
it?
I got the last end of the soda pop. First time I went to the soda pop, that shit blew my mind. First of all, soda pop didn't start till about 2 in the morning.
That's when it started.
That's when it started.
And this is for
This for
a club for youngsters.
that
That don't start till 2
First time I
o'clock
went to the soda pop, I was 13 years old.
at 2 o'clock in the
At
morning.
2 in the morning.
Feeling like an adult.
Feeling like an adult. And the crazy thing about it was in a blood territory.
So would you ever see bloods, or would it just be?
We was so young, we wouldn't know. We was coming to party.
Right.
We was party. We was into the girls. At 13, I'm trying to grind on something. You feel me? I'm trying to grind on something. So the crazy thing about it was on top of a church.
So let me get this. Let me set it up. You got a 13-year-old at 2 o'clock in the morning in a blood neighborhood partying on top of a church.
On top of a church. With cages around that motherfucker, bro. You see cages around, man, it'll be cages in every corner. If whoever the first nigga there, nigga, that's your spot.
In the cage,
in the cage. And you in there with a girl freaking her all night in the cage. Like a goddamn gorilla. Like, that shit was crazy. Like, nigga leave that motherfucker by like 5 in the morning. 5, 6 in the morning. Nigga got about 3-4 hours of fun. nigga gotta get back home.
Alright. Now, you told us you were a rapper, so I have to ask you, I have to speak about one of your rhymes and one of your songs and ask you a question.
Yeah.
It's a song called Pull Up. It goes a little something like this. It says, pull up to Granny house, you know she on 10. Gotta stop by Auntie house, you know she on 6. So I gotta ask you the $1 million question. What block will you claim?